make sure. Okay. Bass, tone, stop, bass, tone, stop. So if you get one person to play that, and the other person to play the other Kakilambe part one, the other person plays. So if you learn an easier Kakilambe, it's probably not really Kakilambe, but in the United States it might be at drum circles and stuff. But yeah, these are real phrases that they use in Africa. And then we added one, oh, can't see my eye. We added one that goes, oh. All right, so those are all Kakilambe parts for the real Kakilambe. And what we're playing is we're playing in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Second part. Let's do that much. 1, 2, 3, do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, do 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 do. And a bass. Okay, and I'm going to continue now. Listen. I bring my left hand, I'm going to rest it at 9 and 12 and flatten it against the drum and play 3 slaps. These are called muffled slaps. Yeah. Do as much as you can. I'm going to slow it down. Sometimes instead of muffling all the way here, sometimes I just put my hand here and muffle. It's almost the same sound, and I don't have to bring it all the way to mute the whole skin. But I'm used to doing this, so I do it. That's hard to get used to learn. I can imagine what you're going through if you've never played these rhythms and you have to do them tonight. Yeah, it can be a little challenging. So, am I going way too fast? What do you think? No, I'm not. I'm going way too slow. Oh, Nancy thinks I'm going too fast. Sorry to out you, but you're probably right. Because the way Nancy likes to get it, she really wants to get the sound, the rhythm, the hands, everything right. You know, she wants to do it right. Some people don't feel that way about it. Some people, and that's okay. It doesn't mean one person's right, one person's wrong. Some people want to keep their old techniques, you know. And I'm trying to show you that if you change your techniques a little bit, modify them a little bit, maybe you'll start to learn to really play the djembe the way it wants to be played, and the way you can really get some sound out of it. And, you know, and that comes with having a good skin on it and having it tuned right, making sure there's no air holes in the djembe, and that all the sound is either going to come out of the top or a tiny bit of sound will come out of the bottom. That's why we don't never play the djembes flat, like just standing here. You can, but all you can get is tones and slap. You can't get the bass. If I tilt a little bit, so I'm just tilting a tiny bit. This is like, I don't know, 8 degrees of tilt. So some people, you'll see, they tilt their drum quite a bit, like this. I don't know if you can see what I look like, but see how much I've got my drum tilted? Like a huge amount, like that. Is this wrong? No. In Africa, a lot of people, especially the older ones from before the 50s and the 40s, 30s and 20s, and whatever, we don't have video of that, but yeah, we've got this much tilt. And, you know, some people nowadays, the proper way to play djembe is to have your drum slightly tilted. Like if you took a marble, it would roll off. If you put your phone on, it wouldn't. So whatever that means. Again, I'm calling it 8 degrees. So that's all the kakilambe in 6 rhythms I have. That's quite a few of them. I've recorded them, so you can take a look at it, I hope. How are we doing on time? Oh, we've got 15 minutes of playing to do. And then if you want to do the talk session, we can do that too. Asking questions and answering questions. Again, I'm really sorry about the way things are happening on Zoom tonight. There's another rhythm that I had planned in 4. So it's called kasa. Kasa is a granary rhythm. So it's played during harvest time mostly. And it gives the workers, when you play it when you follow the workers to the fields where they have to work and you're going to play for them, that's the best thing you can do. They like that the most, and it's the most helpful because it allows them to keep working without stopping because there's music going on and they work to the music. I don't know if that was the original way Casa came to be, but it's also played in the village before the workers go out to the fields. So, yeah. And I believe men and women can both go and work in the fields on Casa. Certain fishing rhythms, women only go with their nets. Certain fishing rhythms, men only go with net. And you've got you've got rhythms for everything that you can imagine. Baptisms, that's baby naming ceremony. You've got weddings, like about 20 different rhythms that are appropriate for wedding. I got married in Guinea. What else? Granary. Nancy, help me out. I'm drawing a blank. Well, food preparation. I mean, that's a big. It's usually, this djembe is meant for a woman to play, to work in it. So the bowl didn't have a hole in it, and they use it to crush grain with the slightly smaller ones and slightly bigger ones that would be too big for us to play. So when the hole came,
of age for them.
when in the middle of the djembe, there's a hole that goes all the way to the skin, right, straight through. So that used to be sealed. So the bottom of this bowl just was a bowl sitting on a stem. And, the story is, and I'm sure it happened over and over again, but the story is that, one day the big mortar, the pestle, which is about 5 inches in diameter, they throw it up in the air and it would come down and crash right onto the grain against that bottom, and one day it broke through, and so the djembe was born when the men took it and put skin on. There were never metal rings on that. That was not something that happened. I remember when I came to the djembe, they did not use metal rings on the djembe. It was all done with cowhide, and there was no rope here either. This was all cowhide strips holding it together. So when you were going to tighten your djembe, you would put water all over the cowhide and then get a hairdryer or put it in the sun, which is more natural, I guess, and let it really, really cook in 90, 95 degree heat. And that rawhide would tighten up, that cowhide would tighten up and make your head tighter. And you could also do the same thing with the head. You'd wet the head, put it in the hot sun, and it would get tighter also. But nowadays we use the high tension rope. I wonder, Patrick, I wonder if you have not what we call stay set rope. It may be that you have a nylon core rope. I'm not sure. If it is, it will never hold its tune. And so we would need to re-rope it. If you want us to do that for you someday, we do we repair about 4 to 5 drums a week. So I'm constantly picking up drums from people, bringing it to the shop, working on them, putting new skins on them, making them look pretty if they want pretty, or just functional if they want functional. I don't know if you know we do that. What is that? That's a metal ring, an iron ring. So Patrick is showing us this iron ring. Is that what that is? Oh, it's a piece of rope. Yeah, I can't tell. It's hard to tell. Is a white core in there? If you look at where the end of the rope is, Patrick? Is there white coming out the end?
No.
Huh, I wonder if that's been just sealed with, yeah. Okay, that's been burned off, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna come see you in Wellesley. You're gonna treat me to lunch. Yeah, it's a good drum. The head isn't doing it for me. I gotta see it in person.
It's really low.
Yeah, very metallic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can get away with that. You know, I'll play it. All right. Let's do something before we have to stop. Let's do something we all know. Let's play Fanga, because we all know it. I'm gonna play it. So any hands you want, if you could mute yourself, any hands that you want, great. We're gonna go to part 2 on the rhythm. I figure I'll just keep going. So, and then it would be time to solo. After you do the singing, you don't solo during any singing. You really don't. You can do every once in a while, maybe during a song, but you're just playing the rhythm. For Kakilambe or. And so one of the things that I do when I'm playing for you is that I am, when I'm playing for you, I am making sure that every sound that I say is a bass, sounds like a bass, isn't just sort of like a bass or almost a bass. It is a bass, and if it isn't, I'll hit it twice. But I have my eyes closed. So those are all perfect basses. Tones, fingers together, like this. Now look at my hands. Fingers are slightly, the 3 fingers that play the tone are slightly apart, and there's a bigger angle to the little finger going off. You can bring it in if you want for looks, but most players I know from the old days play like this. And maybe they bring the finger in now. Bringing the finger in doesn't give you any more sound, it just maybe looks better. I don't know. Either way. Then, stop. Notice each time you can see the palm of my hand, even if it's out of frame. You can't play your stop. You should not play your stops this way. You really need to come up and let this arm fall. Doesn't take any force, it just falls. Like if you drank a gallon of Boone's Farm. Let's go do 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 dot 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 dot. Made up an ending. So endings sort of are like that, you know. There are some that have been around for a long time. They're part of like arrangements. So we can eventually get into that. But I think the basic part that what Zoom is giving us is allowing us to connect where we might not be able to reach out to people that don't live close to me. In the case of Patrick, I'm going to go visit him, and he's going to take me out for a burger, probably at Burger King or something like that. I don't know where he's got in mind. But no, not Burger King. You got a better place? Wellesley doesn't even probably have a Burger King. Anyway, but I teach in Wellesley. I go over and teach outdoor private lessons. So I meet about 3 or 4 students over there during the summers, late spring, early summer, and fall, until it gets too cold. Nice place to park, where the old high school used to be, Perrin Park. I don't know if you know Perrin Park. Probably haven't lived in Wellesley your whole life. You know Perrin Park? Mr. Patrick, no? Okay, that used to be a high school, and it caught on fire, so they let it fall into the ground and put earth over it and grass, and now it's a huge soccer field with a rotary. It's a really nice place to give private lessons. No, people don't mind in the area. So we've got a few minutes. Let's take some questions, and because we're going to run out of time. So I don't want to do that, and I don't want to make you log in again. I'll make it up to you next week. Anything that you're having trouble with? It can be, yeah.
On the second rhythm of Kakilambe, you said you were using your right hand, but it was looking like your left hand when I was watching it. So I'm confused about the second rhythm as far as hands.
So I'll send you out the book thing. I guess I play it both ways, so. That's my left hand, okay? Then when I played the other part, it was my right hand starting. Let me put that on video. So second part, hold on now. Right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right. It can be left, but I don't, I'd have to think of it. So it's right. Did I say I was starting with left or right? Right? I should say, I mean, I know my right, so I should be able to say the right thing.
You said you were starting with your right on the second version. Okay.
Right, right, right. It's not only a second version. It can be Kakilambe on its own, but it's usually played while someone is playing the other part and played together as a duet. Do do da 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 da. Tone tone sa 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 sa. Da 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 da. Do do da 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 da. Do 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 do. Da. Do do da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, go. Two, three, again. Yeah, no, I'm just making stuff up. All right, we've got a few minutes and then one more question. Yes, Jenna.
When you sent the information, the score of Fanga was a little different from the recording of you playing it.
The recording of me playing it?
Yeah, you sent a recording of Fanga. It was called Fanga 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, that wasn't Fanga. I made a mistake and sent the wrong recording. We have
Oh.
I'm sorry. I know. I figured nobody would even look at it, so I don't have to say anything about
I
it.
did.
No, you have to say it in front of the whole class.
I'm sorry. I thought I was screwing.
You know, sometimes you grab the wrong URL, and I just grabbed the wrong URL.
That's good. That's good. I did the score.
But it's a great song. I forget what you received, but it was good. I've got less than a minute to take one more question, then we're going to end it for the night, and I'll make it up to you next week. So we'll start still at 6 o'clock next week, but
Alan,
maybe we'll go longer. Yeah.
I think my takeaway is I can't play what you're playing unless my drum is tuned up. So I think I'm going to focus on getting that done.